In this video, we are taking a scientific deep dive into the tonal variances between NUM-compatible devices. Hi, I'm Isamu from Japan. My English isn't perfect, but I really wanted to share this important data with you. This is a channel where we stop relying on vibes and start understanding our gear. Facts, not feelings. It's not just an algorithm. It's a hardware paradox. Today's mission: if the NUM profile is identical, is the output signal truly identical? We are digging deep into the same profile, different hardware mystery. Here's our roadmap for today. Let's get into it. First, a quick primer on NUM, neural ant modeling. Before NUM, let's look at the big picture of ant modeling. Traditional modeling mostly used white box algorithm. Engineers analyzed physical circuits and simulated component behavior to recreate the tone. Then came the AI revolution, black box algorithm. The computer doesn't care about the circuit. It just runs the relationship between input and output. This is what we call capturing. In the world of captures, we have closed ecosystems like Kemper, Cloud Cortex, and ToneX. Those libraries are locked. You cannot run a ToneX file on a different manufacturer's unit. NUM is a game changer. It's an open source ecosystem. Through communities like ToneHunt, Tone 3000, players share elite profiles that work across various hardware. Studio-grade tones are finally becoming platform agnostic. High-quality NUM files mean anyone can access world-class ant models. But here's the million-dollar question. Does the same file sound the same on different rigs? Let's settle this with A/B listening test and raw measured data. Disclaimer: this is a bench test with consumer gear, not a lab environment. This is my professional take based on the evidence. Let's look at our test subjects. I have 3 NUM-ready contenders: Sonicbox, Smartbox, Hotone GP50, and NUX MG-30. We are loading the exact same NUM file into all 3 units. NUM was born as high-intensity PC software. It requires massive CPU overhead that most standard multi-effects DSPs cannot handle natively. To make it work, manufacturers must optimize the code for their specific DSP architecture. As of February 2026, NUM is on its Generation 1 architecture, requiring hardware-specific conversion. Future A2 versions promise lighter algorithm. But for now, the conversion process is where the magic happens. The precision of this optimization, plus the quality of the ADD stage, defines the hardware delta in your tone. Enough talk, let's hear it! I'm using a Boss GT1 looper to ensure the DI input is 100% identical for every pass. Did you hear that? There's a different shift in character. Full disclosure, the first 2 were the Smartbox and GP50. Both are Hotone based. The difference was negligible. They likely share the same underlying optimization algorithm. But the third one, The MG-30 had a much more articulate top end. Let's visualize the delta. Look at the spectrum analysis. Blue is Sonicbox, red is GP50, yellow is MG-30. The red is perfectly overlaid on the blue, virtually identical. But look at the 8 kHz overall region. The MG-30 has significantly more air and extension. The Hotone unit starts a gentle roll-off around 5 kHz. That cut we had in the MG-30 is right there in the data. Let's break down this relative through 3 lenses. 1. The input stage, analyzing the signal before non-processing. 2. Silence, measuring the noise floor to see how nuance survives. 3. Multi-source validation, full-path PC NAND versus optimized device NAND. Here is the signal chain, using pink noise, 440 Hz tones, and impulse signals for analysis. Everything is recorded digitally via USB to eliminate any extra analog coloring during recording. First, ADC, analog to digital converter characteristics. I sent -20 dBFS pink noise from the ZT1 into each unit. All effects blocks are off. We are capturing the dry signal pink noise. Hotone unit set to master 80. MG-30 has no digital master control. This reveals the low ADC profile of each specific device. The MG-30 stays flat into the high frequencies. The others show a linear -3 dB per octave slope. For pink noise, the slope is correct. This means the NUX MG-30 is intentionally boosting the highs at the entry point. NUX bakes in extra clarity at the ADC stage, while Hotone stays faithful to the unaltered low input. Next, noise floor and dynamic range, using a 440 Hz test tone, -20 dBFS. We check the noise floor outside the fundamental frequencies. Result: the MG-30's noise floor is a massive 20 dB lower. This means more microdynamics reach the engine without being buried in noise. The MG-30's high-resolution field comes from superior analog noise rejection. It's not just a bit depth difference. It's the quality of the analog front end. Now, for the multi-source test, hardware versus PC. Comparing internal processing against the device DI on the PC. Look at the result. On the left, Hotone. Hardware output versus PC native is very close. The blue native curve is slightly more extended, but not drastically. On the right, MG-30, internal hardware boosts the highs, but the PC NAND version of the same DI stays natural. Only the MG-30 hardware internal processing shows this unique level shift. When we run all the DIs through the PC version, the results converge. Even the bright MG-30 Di levels out when processed by the PC plugin. Why? Let's recap. Different hardware equal different tone. Different DIs equal different tone. But native PC NAM absorbs those differences and make them nearly identical. This is what I call the Convergence Phenomenon. The PC processor is so powerful that it forces any input signal to match the idealized profile. It's like a strict school uniform policy. No matter what you wear, the school forces you into the same suit. Individual personality is erased. Full-spec NAM on PC has high robustness. It treats hardware variance as error and corrects it back to the truth. This is why hardware difference disappear on your DAW. It's like forcing different shaped blocks through a heavy-duty steel square mold. Low computing power forces the input to comply with the correct answer. But on a multi-effect device, the math is simplified to save the DSP. The engine is loser. It lets the ADC's character, the brightness, pass through to the output. It's like a mold with a bit of give. The final shape keeps some of the original texture. The hardware's unique flavor remains in the final tone. This is why individuality disappears on PC but stays alive on the actual hardware. Now, the big question. Is this convergence a weakness of an affordable gear? I'd say no. Even on high-end units like NUX or Quad-Cortex, players often find the hardware feels more alive. Perhaps it's because the digital engine is too perfect, stripping away the beautiful imperfections of the hardware. Finally, let's measure latency. Measured in samples at 48 kHz. The MG-30 is the undisputed king here. It is incredibly fast. That speed is the direct link between your fingertips and the speakers. The MG-30 is just lightning fast, period. So, same input, different hardware, different results. MG-30 targets musical clarity with its high-end boost. Hotone targets reference accuracy to the input. NUX might have less fidelity to the profile, but it cuts through the mix much better. These aren't failures, they are deliberate design philosophies. Tone is a mix of analog filters, ADC qualities, and DSP math. Reports show high-end units like the Stomp Station Pro achieve PC-level convergence. But my testing shows the MG-30 takes the opposite approach, keeping the instrument feel by not overcorrecting. Same file does not guarantee same sound. The data proves it. Gear isn't just a tool, it's an instrument. As AI gets smarter and corrections become perfect, will it still feel like a musical instrument? Maybe the soul lives in this imperfect, uncorrected pass-through. That was a heavy session. Thanks for watching until the end. I'll see you in the next video or catch you at the show. Bye bye.